By the end, we're going to be holding each other.
Are you okay?
Okay.
I'm here with Allison.
I'm Allison. And we know each other because we both work in the music industry. And I have been obsessed with you ever since I met you. And I'm so grateful to be sitting here with you and to know such a cool other creative.
Oh my God, you're so nice. It's been so great meeting other creatives because I was in a shell for a while where I'm like, I don't want to talk to anybody. I don't want to meet anybody. I just want to do my own thing in my own little corner.
Yeah.
And that got old. That got old really quick. I'm trying to think. When was our first show we met each other? I can't remember.
It's a good question.
Yeah, I don't remember.
It's definitely an Armory show.
Obviously, yeah.
It's always with you at. I think Tape B is the only non-Armory show I've
been to. I used to shoot Skyway, but I don't believe you were doing work then. Yeah, no.
No.
Only with Sim. No. It's 2023 for sure if we met each other. And it had to be around New Year's. But who knows?
There's so many shows here. That's crazy. We can't even think
we can't.
And we're naming these huge shows.
Yeah. It's I don't know. I don't even know.
That's so fun though. That's I like that we can't name that. We've worked together so much and at all these crazy shows that we're I don't even know. The time has just flown.
It's flown by. Yeah. Each Armory show though. Such a vibe.
So fun.
Such a vibe. If you haven't been to the Armory in Minnesota, you got to come.
Even if you're not in Minnesota, everybody comes here for it because it's such a big, amazing venue.
It's iconic. It really is.
And nothing, your images are amazing, but even just stepping in it and feeling the Armory and just feeling the vibrations, the floor will bounce under you.
Yeah.
It's just unreal.
And I feel at the Armory, they have the ability to do that type of fireworks, flames, all that, anything.
The crazy.
Because all the smaller venues, you can't be shooting off fire in those. No. No.
It would not work. Even the ceilings, I feel need to be a certain height.
Yeah, I bet there is a fire code. It's if your ceilings aren't X height, you're not doing X, Y, and Z. Yeah.
Mellow Death and two friends, they had these moving pyro that was just insane where I'm there's no way a lot of venues could do that and have the room to keep people safe and moving fire.
Yeah.
It's just nuts.
Yeah. So were you at the MOA for yeah, please tell me your experience. Because was this last minute or what was happening?
No.
Was this all planned?
Yeah.
Yeah. Everyone else thought it was last minute.
I don't know what I can say. It's not last minute.
It's not last minute.
It does take a lot of planning.
Yeah.
And the Mall of America was amazing working with us because, I don't think the mall's ever had anything quite like that. I know they've had a lot of artists come in and do, signings and meet and greets. I met the Victorious cast.
Oh, nice.
Mall of America, but that's so different than an actual kind of little concert that they did. They did an hour-long set, I think is what it was. So we teased it saying it was just a merch pop-up, but we really set everything up. Interstellar Lighting came and helped out, which was super cool.
Love the Interstellar guys.
They came out and they set everything up. The mall just wasn't ready for that amount of rhythm.
Yeah.
And these crazy kids to come in.
I know. I bet those stores in the Rotunda area were probably do we need to evacuate?
They definitely thought that because as they came out, I could see the M&M store shut their gates. Just lock up for the minute.
They're oh, we're done.
Yeah. And as, they come out and it starts and everybody, it just erupts, the whole rotunda. Everybody's going crazy. The whole escalator, everyone's standing and filming as they're going up and down the escalators. And you had to get there at 6 or 7 in the morning to get a wristband to get in the in the rotunda on the ground. So people were camped out when they brought chairs on all the other floors to watch.
Oh my God.
And then it starts and they set up these barricades and they had mats to protect the ground. But because, these ravers, they're picking up the barricades and slamming them. So we're holding them, which we sometimes do. I think even at the Armory, they can really slam down the barricades. But these ones, they were not ready for the ravers. They even came out and they were no moshing. Before, they had to tell people, chill out. And there were kids in there, and everyone was very respectful. There was a little girl on the rail, going hard, and people around her were headbanging, but not, bumping into her, kind of protecting her to let her headbang. And so that was really cute. A lot of kids got to see it. Oh, my God. I parked my car, and I'm walking out, and I see these two, 13-year-old girls with their mom getting out. And I stop and I turn to them and I go, do you guys know Marshmallow? And they're like, yeah, we know Marshmallow. I'm like, cool. He's going to be here in an hour. So go to the rotunda and you're going to
be there.
So maybe these little girls and their mom, they were so excited when I walked away. They're like, we have to go see it. And like, it's free. Just stand somewhere. Just stand there and see if you like it.
Yeah.
And so we'll see if they like that experience.
Yeah. Because a lot of people know Marshmallow from, sadly, like Fortnite, you know?
Yes.
Yeah, that's
Or
like,
just,
you know, where a lot of people got introduced or
just like his regular songs, which are so different than what he does as Melodeath.
Yeah.
And yeah, it was just, I think it's so unexpected for his fan base, but at the same time, he's so good at mixing rhythm.
Yeah.
And he definitely enjoys it. I wrote an article that never got published about the Melodeath pop-up, and I did a bunch of research about Sad and Marshmallow.
Where was it supposed to go?
Vestigia, which is no longer a company.
Oh.
So that's why it didn't get published.
Makes sense.
So yeah, but that's okay. Whatever.
Yeah.
I know all this stuff about them now, and it seems like he kind of likes to mix that before. It just wasn't like his fan base. And now that's something he gets to like actually do with Sudden Death and have this like little alter ego to him. So it was so cool. It was a long day because we did that, sold out the Armory, which was just
Wait, was that on the same day as the
all
Armory?
of it. And then we had an after. So it was,
Oh my gosh.
it went, I mean, if you were, JT, I know, was up, the owner of Sim Shows. He was there when people were getting their wristbands at 7 a.m. We go until 7 a.m. at our after. So it's a full 24 hours of Melodeath. And it was
my gosh.
the longest, craziest day ever.
I bet.
It was awesome, though. I love when we have really big events like that and we do really unique things like that pop up, which is like, it was just insane. And like, again, Mall of America helping, you know, coordinate that. They've never done something like that, to my knowledge.
No, I don't think they have. I can't think of anything. Like, I know other big artists have been there or celebrities, but nothing like a full Rager situation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they handled it so well.
That's great.
You know, I truly don't even think they understood like how rowdy the crowd can get. But it was just, you know, we're in a mall, guys.
Yeah.
Let's have fun.
Be careful.
Chill out.
There are patrons here that don't know what the is going on.
They're just walking into this.
Yeah.
Yes, there was a lot of that. And I know they couldn't swear. They couldn't have swearing in their songs. And they accidentally played a swear word. And you see Danny go,
and yeah.
literally. But like, that's just so them. So they aren't even like thinking about it. You know? But they did it. We all survived.
Yeah. What is your job? Like, what are you doing in life right now?
Yeah. So for the past almost 5 years, I can't believe it's almost been 5 years, I've been a freelance social media manager.
Wow. Okay.
And I worked with all sorts of businesses. Like, if you name an object, I have worked with a business that probably sells it. Like, I've worked with candle companies, clothing companies, roofing and siding companies.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Like real estate, everything all across the board. And I really love music and I want to do more in the music industry. So I'm so happy to be working with like Sim Shows and Electric Enclave. We throw shows down in Wilmington and Charlotte, North Carolina.
Oh, fun. Okay.
We have Murata coming up. We just had Must Die for our 1 year anniversary.
Murata, that brings me back.
Fun.
I love angry music.
Angry music is
It's the best.
It's fun to get like your anger out in like a healthy way. Like right now, life is hard. It's great, but it's hard. And I cannot wait next weekend for Cyclops Armory to just hit the pits, fists first, eyes closed. I don't care.
Yeah.
No, sorry. Look out.
Yeah.
Because I'm coming.
She's on her way.
Yeah. So it's just fun.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then I also work with Hair Police. They do hair in Minneapolis. We do festival braids as well. So like we've
always
gone to
wanted
North
those.
Coast. And yeah, we infrasound, trying to do Breakaway. I'd love to do Breakaway. Like, you know, you name it. Taste of Minnesota. They do that.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, so that's how I met them, was getting my hair done for festivals. And I'm like, I do social media. Do you guys have like a social media manager? And that's usually how it goes. Like getting clients is always, it's usually a business that I've already had a connection with. And I'm like, I really like you guys. Do you like want to work together?
Do you like want to hang out?
Yeah, do you want to hang out sometime?
Yeah.
That's really how it went.
Yeah.
But that makes the best clients when you get along so well with them and you're just kind of on the same level and it's easy like that. It's easy. It makes
as
it a good partnership.
Yeah, as it should be. Yeah.
What I do with sim shows is stuff I've dreamed about for years. I've listened to these EDM artists for so long.
Yeah.
And to go from being, deep in the crowd and just a person in the crowd enjoying their music and listening to it at home to then being backstage and meeting them face to face and making content that they interact with and helping give other people that experience of being in the crowd and enjoying it. It's really crazy to flip from that. And like only this past year to meet all these people that I genuinely really love and to work with artists I've never heard of and falling in love with them too. Like I used to be a snob and I only liked like dubstep and rhythm and for like years when I got into EDM.
Yeah.
And I hated like house and we have so many house shows and when I started with sim shows as a promoter and I would work the door and it's always house shows. And I started really listening to the music. I'm like, oh, it's actually good. Like I didn't know that.
I do enjoy this.
It's not bad.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's just incredible. Like everything that I've gotten out of it for what I've given in. It's always just, it's worth the late nights. It is worth the craziness and everything. It's just so much fun. And it's just unreal. Like what show was it? Every now and then I cry. I'm so happy from it. Like, you know what I mean? Because you're like, so
understand.
grateful.
Yeah.
I think it was after Virtual Riot because I got to work just one-on-one so much with VJ Nurai and like meeting Virtual Riot too. I couldn't believe it. And I was so happy. I just cried the whole way home because it's just unreal to be face to face with them and you don't think you're ever gonna be.
Yeah. I had that experience 2018 Lost Lands. I was up on stage on that massive fucking stage. If you know Lost Lands, that stage is like a football field in length.
Volcano stage, is that the one you were
like
on?
the main stage. Like the one with the two volcanoes on the side.
That's so cool.
It was the Thursday pre-party. Where basically everybody is up on stage. Like everyone and their mom is literally up on stage. Africa was playing. Excision and Wooly were playing Africa. And I just started bawling because on stage because I'm like, where am I right now? Like this is happening. And I literally have the video of like the sea of people. And then I just like pan over and I'm like, what is even going on right now? Like, what is even going on?
I love those moments.
Yeah.
It's so surreal to witness that like live. And that was like at the height of that song too. Wasn't it like just as that album dropped?
I know. And I'm like, oh my God.
And the pre-party is like unreal because you have all this like excitement for the rest of the weekend and they give you such that little taste of like, this is what you're going to get. But it's not the full production. It's not, you don't get to see the full festival.
And it was only the second year of that festival. The animatronic Stegosaurus. What's her name?
Becky.
Becky, yeah.
Long necky Becky.
I love Becky. Like she just going and standing under her, you're just like, what?
Just staring at the butthole.
There used to be like a thing at the Minnesota Zoo where they would like have, I don't know if you remember, like where they would put dinosaurs like that. And that didn't even come close to like Becky. Like Becky was full size. Becky is full size. Like,
yes.
What's the craziest thing you've ever experienced like at a rave? Like what's the craziest thing that's happened that you've seen?
There's so many. I'll say a few.
Yeah.
That's okay?
Oh, please do.
And then you too, because we've seen a lot.
Yeah, we have. We've seen things.
Especially when you go for work. Because like I would go to shows on my own accord and you're like, oh, I could miss the opener. Oh, I'm just busy getting ready. Like you go and you're not there the full time. But when you're there for work, you have to be there like open to close and you see... You can't escape it. You see everything. And I would say the crazier stuff I've seen mostly not working, actually. My first Lost Lands, I saw someone completely naked getting carried to the med tent. Like, he was curled up in a ball. And they, like, had his arms. Like,
at least it was a guy.
It was a guy. And he didn't even have socks on. He didn't have anything on. And, nothing in his hands. And they were just carrying him to the med tent just past me. I'm like, at least someone's got him. But that was... that was my first big camping festival. And to see that right away, I was like, holy crap.
All
like,
right,
wow.
I'm here. Welcome.
Yeah, let's go.
Yeah.
The medics were on it. So that's
Yeah.
all I care about. If you're, if a medic's on you,
Shout out to Rave medics because, oh my gosh, probably like babysitting times like 1,000.
oh, it must be so annoying and so scary because you don't even know what people are doing and you're trying to save them with like no information.
Yeah.
Like, I was in line waiting to get in through security.
Mm-hmm.
I get to the festival and, it's night and people are starting to get rowdy. And this guy, just a couple people in front of us, started, just getting really loud talking and really angry. And he's like, why do I have to wait? I'm God. I don't need to wait. And we're like, okay. And then he started punching everybody next to him. He started just punching people. And everybody, starts moving away. And another guy tackles him before security gets in and holds him down for security. And everyone's like, yeah, go guy. That's awesome. We got him. Because, this is crazy. We're all just trying to get in and we're all in a line. And, everyone's dispersed and kind of freaking out, trying to get away from this guy.
Yeah.
So security gets him. And I end up talking to the guy. Me and my ex are like, hey, that was really cool of you, buddy. And he's like, thanks. And we ended up hanging out with him all night. And he had a Darth Vader totem. And you see it at other festivals.
Is there any advice you would give to potential ravers or just ravers that are new to the scene?
Be true to yourself no matter what, because there can be a lot of peer pressure for a multitude of things in this scene. Dress in what you're comfortable in. Do what you are comfortable with. Stand where you're comfortable, whether that's deep in the crowd or if you're more, I need to be in the back. Do what you're comfortable with and pace yourself with what you're comfortable with because you know yourself better than anyone else is going to know you, and don't let people tell you differently. Mm-hmm. And, if all your friends are going to some after and your gut's telling you no, don't do it because it's for a reason, and you're going to get yourself in situations you don't want to be in because it's normalized for certain groups of people to be doing these certain things. And that's okay if you're not into all of the things that happen with raving, because some of it can be scary, some of it is fun, and it just trust yourself and do the things that you genuinely like. Everyone's so different. There's something for everybody. There are big shows, there are small shows. There's so many different kinds of subgenres of EDM, different people to hang out with. You don't need to be stuck in one thing and doing one thing you're unhappy with. Mm-hmm. And you can make smart choices for yourself, no matter what.
Yeah.
And I think, it's just something I've lost sight of. When you're first raving, you don't know anything. You don't know probably half the artists you're seeing.
Yeah.
You don't know about the culture. Trading candy fosters individuality, and marginalized groups is a safe place for everybody to come and enjoy themselves and express themselves in these weird, funky ways. And that's totally cool. And it's weird coming into it at first. And you're going to find stuff you like. And you'll be good. Just do what you like. Don't let people
That's beautiful.
boss you around and bring you places, There's nothing worse than being stuck when you're like, oh, I'll go to this after. It's just one person's house. And you don't drive. And you're just going from house to house in other people's cars, and you're just stuck somewhere, and it's 6 in the morning.
Before Uber was a thing, I've been there. And you're like, I am trapped. And I am trapped 3 hours away from anywhere close of home.
Yeah.
You're like, oh no.
I want to go home.
Yeah.
It's don't be afraid to take a situation into your own hands to make yourself comfortable, because there's so much, people are comfortable with all sorts of different things, I've seen so many girls that are completely shirtless at festivals, and it's cool, if that's what you want to do, show a boob,
but let them titties hang,
that's
girl.
not for me, but if you want to, do it. But everyone's comfortable with such different things, and there can be a lot of peer pressure when you go with a group of people and they're all doing something, and they want to do certain things. It can just totally mess with you. So just know what you like, and you'll figure it out too when you see it. If you're I don't like this, say it to someone. change your environment, go in another room, it will be okay. And you have the power to do that. Yeah, and like just create your own experience. That's like raving, it's more like about you than you think it is, to be honest. Like the artist is there for you too. Like and they wouldn't be performing without you. And the production, they do it for you, and they want to see your reaction and hear you freak out and be excited and love what you see and hear. And these people, everyone works so hard to do it. We want you to enjoy like your experience and not have a bad time because of different situations that just happen. That's why, okay, I'm not even gonna try and be a hater, but like, have you been to Red Rocks? Did you like it? That's a bold question.
It is a bold. No, this is a hot take. I was waiting for you because I was going to ask you if you had any hot takes, and this is a hot take.
This is a hot take. I have many.
So Red Rocks, I feel this is tricky. You're right. Very iconic venue. Everybody wants to play there. If you played there, you've made it. That's like kind of the saying.
Yeah.
So I used to live in Colorado. I would go there just, for funsies, like literally.
You've really been there.
I lived literally 20 minutes away for a while, for 4 years.
I know that. So you're like, have you been there?
I have.
I know it very well.
I know it very well. But yeah, we would go there, like to film music videos for people, like, just do that kind of stuff. But actually seeing a show there, the only show I've actually seen there, is NF. I don't know if you know that rapper.
No.
Yeah, it's okay.
Rap concert in that environment.
Yeah,
is different.
What I don't like about Red Rocks is there's a noise ordinance at that venue. So literally the shows have to start like super early and end super early, and they also can't play very loud because again, where it's located, it's very like you could hear this from miles and miles away because you're literally on the side of a mountain. So all the noise is literally just flooding right back into the town. So there's a noise ordinance. So you can't play past this. I think it's 10 p.m.
Oh, that's so early.
I know.
Figured like midnight.
No, it's like 10 p.m. So you have to be done. Yeah. So a lot of artists literally won't play there because they can't put out what they would put out normally. And Excision is definitely one of those where he's like, it's pointless.
Like, couldn't even fit like all his lasers on that stage.
No, and he probably is like, well, I can't play loud enough, so this doesn't make sense for me.
Yeah, he's all about that.
So, but yeah, I think for different types of music, it's a great venue. For EDM, dubstep specifically, I would say it's not the greatest venue for that. For that specific genre, I would not do it.
So happy I'm not the only one with that take, because I've never been there, so I feel weird even saying stuff like this, but it's like, what intrigues me to go? Because I live right here with the Armory, and there's very few things bigger than the Armory unless it's like a stadium or a festival. Yeah. And why would I like go to this place and I have to stand in one spot pretty much the whole time? Like, when you find your area, that's so like, yes, in raving, you have like your little spots in the crowd, but like you meet people, you move, you dance, you mosh, and you can't really do that, it seems like there. And that's like so confining to
it is, yeah. And it's also like, it's steep. Like, I'm telling you, like, if you're up at the top, you get a little bit of vertigo. Like, it's
crazy.
And it's like, if to be safe to like dance around, you have to be careful because you can fall. Like, the steps that you see are like probably as steep as this couch is off the floor. So the steps are like, they're big.
My gosh.
Yeah. So it's like,
that's tall. That's
because they're technically seats, but people don't sit because there's no standing room. Like, everybody is on, like, you just continue to go up.
Right.
Yeah. Other than it just being a cool ass venue, like, I get what you're saying, because you are gonna get, again, because of its EDM and dubstep, you will get better shows not there. I think it's you can't hate on the venue. You can love the venue, but you can't hate on it because it's like, it is that venue where, people strive to play there and be there.
Huge congrats.
And take a piece of that rock, because when you play there, you get to take, like, they give you a piece of the rock and then like they carve your artist name into it and you take it home. Yeah.
As an artist, I would really want to play there, but
Yeah.
as a goer, it doesn't, and someone who doesn't like nature, really, it doesn't like appeal to me.
Yeah.
Sorry, nature. It just like I get bored of it after 5 minutes. So that's my hot take. But I like hearing the things that you said because I didn't know some of that stuff, and that is more. It's more intriguing when other people tell me their experiences and tell me things that I didn't know. Where I'm like, okay, that makes it like that much more special. And I'm just being, a hater by like saying this stuff. And that's why I hesitate to say like, but because I've never been there.
Yeah.
But it's like, I don't really want to go.
Yeah, no, and it's totally okay to have, everybody has different opinions. Like, and I think people just need to accept that. And it's fine. I hate when people get all worked up being like, oh, you can't have that opinion or you can't think that. It's like, why not? It's not life or death. We're all right. It's just a venue.
It is just a venue. And it's going to, even though I'm sitting here hating on it, it's going to do just fine.
Yeah.
And every artist who plays there is insanely good.
Here's a hot take from me. I don't like lasers. I mean, they're fine. But I don't think they're that cool.
What's your favorite part of production and why don't you like lasers? Like you just don't.
I like they're like, okay. I'm like, okay, lasers. I don't know.
What gets you going?
The music itself.
That's good.
I like visuals. Like like when the Shrek went viral, like I was that was so good. Like
so funny.
I appreciate that kind of thing. Lasers, like, don't get me wrong. I love me some good lasers, but it's not like when people drunkenly ask me, like when I'm working in a crowd, what time do lasers, do you know when lasers are coming on? Like, I'm like, I don't know.
I wish I knew.
I kind of don't care. I need to know because I need to take a photo of it. But other than that, I don't know. I'm sorry. If you're a photographer out there or a videographer, you have to like change your settings when lasers come on because you have to be on a certain shutter speed to capture them. Otherwise, you'll just like see one light beam or like another light beam. It doesn't look good. So you have to know like what you're doing to capture them. And also with pyro or fireworks, like you just have to know. And this is where I think people don't realize being a EDM, DJ, dubstep photographer, whatever you want to call it. There's so many terms, Yeah. How you actually need to be a fan of the music that you're shooting because like I know in my gut where I'm like, pyro is about to go off.
You can feel
like
the rhythm of it.
I'm like, okay, like fireworks or something's about to go off. Because you literally have to change I have to change my settings in like literally 0.2 seconds because you can't shoot like a visual the same way, like, because fire is super bright. Right. So as soon as I know fire is coming up, I like crank my shutter like all the way up because I'm like quick. Like it has to be quick because otherwise I'm shooting pretty open most of the night to bring in all the light because it's dark in there. But yeah, as soon as I know something's gonna happen, you gotta flip it. I
didn't even think about that, dude. You guys are so talented, to be honest, because like you go into a show and like we do not know what's happening. Like I think that's a huge misconception. Like people ask me too many questions. What are the set times? What is this happening? I don't even know, to be honest with you, most of the time. You do get to know that, especially when you know the artist coming in. You're like, oh, like Excision. I know every drop. I know every visual.
Yep.
Nothing's new for me. When we had Lucid Nights and we had Cascade and Sullivan King in the same night, I feel like it's such different pieces of content. Like Cascade, I want people smiling and like crying and looking at it and like very loving things. But Sullivan King, I would want people headbanging, moshing, like just flipping out and going crazy. And it's such different moments to capture and different energy. And you have to know kind of what's about to happen going into it. Even if you don't know the artist, like you should be doing some research.
Yeah. That night was the funniest switch up like to see in person because Cascade, if you don't know, it's very like happy, upbeat, EDM, like very just like, oh my gosh, we're like living life. Yeah. And then Sullivan King is like, break your fucking neck. And like you could tell some of the Cascade people were absolutely terrified. All the Sullivan King fans like moved in and like were moshing and stuff. And it was
a crazy
it was so great. It was so great.
It's fun seeing people do it, even if like you're not into moshing or, you know, this giant wall of death. It's so fun watching everybody else do it.
So how did you get into doing social media for sim shows? Like what avenue? How'd you get there? What road were you taking? Where did you turn?
Right. It was a few turns and a few roads. I started raving right when I was 18. Did that for a very long time. I mean, I'm 27, still raving. So I've been doing that for a while. And when I got into social media and started finding my niche of like, what industry do I really want to work with? Because I've worked with so many, which I'm happy about, and it's good to kind of figure it out. And it's good to work with different brands, but I love live music so much. And when I saw, like, I didn't even know who sim shows really was, honestly. And I feel like that's very common when you first start raving because you don't know what goes into it, like what a promoter even is.
Yeah.
And then when
Do you mind explaining to the people what a promoter is?
Right. Okay. So when an artist comes to town, they most likely go through a promoter to help talk about the show to that specific town. Because, you know, when you travel everywhere, every audience is different and their needs, and a promoter is going to help you sell out that show like no other. We know our audience. We bridge the gap between DJs and venues. And we just help sell shows and bring to light like what's happening in the Twin Cities.
So back to the road
Yes.
that you were taking. Sorry, I just wanted to explain what the promoter is.
Weird. It's confusing.
Yep. Some people don't know.
They don't. So raving for a long time, and I found out who Sim Shows was and how I could be a promoter because I was like, how do I get involved? And that's the easiest way. Like if you want to get involved in the music industry, for sure, promoter. And so I started doing that while sharpening my skills and working with various industries and businesses, doing social media. And it wasn't long after I started, I even told JT, I'm like, I want to help with like social media. Like, how do I do that?
Yeah.
And right away, he's like, TikTok. Take the TikTok. Like, it's all yours. We don't want it. No, he does too much. We're on everything. We're on Snapchat. Okay, I don't even do that. Like that's all JT because I'm like that's just too much.
Yeah.
Was a promoter for 3 years before I really got into doing the social media because it's especially with the music industry, at least for the way I've moved about it, and I'm sure you too, because we're like cool people and genuine people.
We're cool.
Where it's like you don't want to step on any toes. And everybody's really grandfathered into whatever job they're doing in the industry for the most part. So when I came in, like Sim, even now, everyone's really close, the like core group of people. So it, you know, I come in as an outsider and I don't want it to seem like I'm trying to take over anything or that I'm, you know, you're doing a bad job, so you need me. Like, that's not what I'm trying to say at all or do, and I don't want to come off that way. So it's so scary, and it was probably a lot slower of a process than it needed to be.
Yeah.
Because when I initially asked him about helping with the TikTok, that was like over a year before I actually started doing it. But I started doing the TikTok and it just grew from there. And I do so much more than that now. I love a nice bathroom.
Especially in that situation. You're like,
and when you're working, dude, it's the worst when you're, because working is different. When you work a show versus going to it, it's not as laid back. And like, you don't have the freedom of choice as much as you'd think. Because like, we're, you know, they just send us off in there and we can go do our jobs. But we still have to like be there at certain times, and like you're running around everywhere. So even like trying to find a clean bathroom sometimes sucks, or waiting in line.
Yeah, that's what I hate about festivals, because it's like it is a porta potty. It is going to be a porta potty situation, and you can not catch me dead in a porta potty. I would rather pop a squat behind a dumpster.
Yeah,
like not even kidding.
You know what I bought, but I have not tried. and I got it for Last Dance for my rave outfit.
I think I know what you're gonna say.
Pea cups.
Yes.
Yeah, I got like disposable ones because I'm not gonna carry around my little pea cup the whole festival.
Yeah.
But I got these like cardboard pea cups so I didn't have to take off my whole rave outfit or touch less things in the bathrooms.
Yeah.
And I literally barely peed because I was really dehydrated this year.
Yeah, and also just
Drought.
rave like outside porta potties, I feel like are also slightly dangerous. And I know that might seem weird, but like my brain immediately goes like, what are we doing in there that we can't do out in public? Fun fact about me, I don't sit in any public restrooms. Like I don't sit on any. I have to lay toilet paper down.
No, that's good.
You would not catch me in a porta potty. I will go anywhere but a porta potty.
Oh, it sometimes is way better just peeing outside somewhere, and they get really hot during the day.
And
I have
smell
between cars. I've gone behind a tree. Our campsite at Los Angeles last year, they put us in like a corner by these trees.
Oh, that's nice.
We all had like these rocks that we'd all just go on, and we brought these, like, we did anything. We brought little, do you know what I'm talking about? It's like a toilet lid with a bag, pretty much.
Yeah.
Put this like kitty litter type stuff in
Yeah,
it to
no,
soak it up.
exactly. Yeah.
We brought a bunch of those, but the girls, like, by the time I was like, I think I'm brave enough to use one of those. Like, I think I'm ready. They were like destroyed. Like, no one knew how to use them because, you know, it's a festival.
Yeah.
And what your campsite looks in the beginning of the week will not look like
that
at the end.
always blows my mind because I see so many videos and TikToks of these elaborate campsites people set up. Like, elaborate. Like, I'm talking like blow up couches, coffee tables, like TVs, like.
Yeah. But it's hard.
The setup on those, like, what are we talking? Like, what's the time frame of setting something like that up?
I can tell you about my Los Angeles group. We went with 46 of us this
46?
46
people?
We came from like 10 different states. Yes. That's my group. We have 46
Okay,
people.
I have like 3 friends, so that's incredible to hear.
I didn't know like half of them. Like I only knew probably like 20 of them going into it that I went with the year before because we all just keep going together and adding to it, you know? It's like my one big festival I do with everybody. And yeah, we get there and it took us a really long time in general because like our friends, thanks Alex from Texas, took forever because he was coming from really far. And we get in together, and I think because we had such a big group, they just shoved us so far away, dude. And sorry, I love you, Los Angeles, but what the hell? Like, we paid to get there early and get a good spot, and we were further back this year than we were last year. And we got there a whole day later last year, pretty much. Like, it was so bad, but I think it's because they wanted to keep us together, and they lined us up so we parked, like, facing each other.
Okay.
And our campsite was in the middle of all of our cars because it was car camping, which is, thank God. I don't think we could do 46 people and have to carry our stuff with like close camping or something like that. And it took us a minute because it was also a drought this year. So I threw up twice while trying to set up our site from how hot it was.
God.
And I didn't eat. Like we drive through the night when we go. So how
long's the drive for you guys from here?
It's 12 hours straight, but it's about 13, 14 with stops, but we made really good time. Like, we were doing so good drives, just me and my friend Jesse. Dude. And it's like, you know, it was my 5th year going, so I could do this with my eyes closed. And we're like, let's drive through the bad part of Chicago. Like, that's how good we were feeling, and we kept trying to drive through, like, sketchy.
Oh, God.
Because we love Chicago. And we drive all through the night and just stay up all night. And we made it to the Walmart everyone goes to, waiting there all day for people. My friend got Chipotle catered for us in the parking lot. So I ate a little bit of that, but I get
catering Chipotle to a Walmart parking lot. That is iconic. Oh my God.
Yeah, we literally, that's how it is though. You know, like when you have that many people, and it took us so long to get in and set. It took us probably 3 hours before we really settled in because, you know, you have to lay all the tarps down. And we're just like, who wants to set up next to who? Like, you know, we all have our groups of friends.
Yeah.
And that's kind of how we pulled in.
So is it like one long campsite?
Yes.
Like connected basically with those tents, right? Yeah.
And like all our tents were just next to each other. But, you know, some campsites are lined up just next to each other and there's trees right behind them. That is not going to fly for 46 of us in one row like that, you know?
Yeah.
Or like, it just, it just made sense to do it this way. And it was easier for them to fill up the space after us because we were just a nuisance with our big group.
That's crazy.
So we get in and our cars are like facing each other, lined up. And it's just kind of, it's all about communication and like who brought what. This is something I wish I could do. And I told my group I would do it. And then I got too busy. I'm like, I'm going to make a spreadsheet. So we can say, I have a full length mirror. I have 2 tarps. And like, we're not overpacking.
Yeah.
But then we have everything we need. And, you know, because like my friend who came from Texas, Alex, his trunk was like, the bed of his truck was full of shit. Like,
oh my
leaving.
God.
Like, I don't even know how he drove, to be honest, after. And yeah, just to help prevent that a little, I think that would be good, like this next year going into it. But we had everything you can think of, and it was awesome. One year I did bring a TV too, but we ended up not setting it up. Yeah.
That is crazy. Yeah. When I see those things on TikTok and I see these elaborate campsites, just because I have to set up a booth in a campsite when I go work at horse shows, I know how long, and I don't even have anything that elaborate. I just know how long. Like the setting up part is fun at the beginning because you're like, I'm here. This is so exciting.
You have energy still.
Yeah, but I know that last day when you're packing up and you are dead inside because you are so tired. You're just like, oh my gosh, I have to put all of this away. And then I have to drive home with it for 12 hours. And then I also, when I get home, have to put all of it away. That's literally what goes through my brain every time at the end. And I'm like, oh my God. Yeah. Okay.
It makes you a stronger person.
I have built character.
Yes. Seriously. Yeah. Like I feel we talked about this a lot at Lost Lands because like it was really hot and we didn't put the roof on our tent. And I was like, dude, we're literally homeless for like the week. And we like sign up for this. Like everybody, there's 50,000 homeless people right now camping in fields, in tents, and in cars. Like I know people who'd sleep in hammocks.
Does Lost Lands have that like fancy glamping setup where they have these pods? They do.
Yes.
I don't.
So you glampers, it's so expensive. It's like $2,000 a person at least
for the weekend.
Yes, and I don't believe that includes your ticket. It's just for glamping. I've snuck into glamping before to take a shower for my birthday because my birthday's over Lost Lands every year. And someone slipped off their glamping wristband for me. It was like their friend too. Like he was just passing it to people to shower for free because I hate spending money on showers. I only spent money on showers this last year because it was so hot.
Do they have those showering trailers there?
Yes.
And is that only in glamping?
They have it everywhere, but it's $10 a shower if you're a normal person. But glamping, everything is included. You get free breakfast. I'm pretty sure in the past they've had free like festival braids, but so many people get glamping now. They've kind of reeled back on a lot of what it comes with.
Yeah.
But it's like these really like the TP-esque tents. Like
I've seen them. Yeah.
I don't know if you have like AC or heat or anything in them.
Do they look like yurts?
A little bit. Yeah. A little bit like a yurt. And they have like cots and they set it all up for you. But it's just...
I couldn't do it, though.
It's a lot of... I think that's a stupid amount of money to spend for... Like, that's what I spend if I'm really pushing it in total. For, like, everything. For the whole weekend. Clothes, gas, food, camping supplies. Like, it can add up to that easily. But to spend that on just your ticket is crazy to me.
Yeah.
But they have it made in glamping. It looks all right, but it doesn't look fun. You know? Like, I get... when I took my shower, everyone was really, like... No one was talking to each other. There's no sense of community in glamping from what I've gathered. But you go in GA camping and everybody's friends. You're friends with your neighbors. It's such a fun way to meet people and grow like so close to people. Like when you go to a festival with someone, you're best friends with them unless it goes wrong and you don't like them. But most of the time you're like really close to people, I feel.
That's beautiful.
Because you just experience different things. Like I have celiac disease. And I've only had it for like a year. So things are new, and this is going to sound really dumb, but sometimes I forget.
That makes sense.
I literally forget. And I brought beef jerky because it's a great festival food. And I take one bite, and I was like, oh my God, I didn't read the label. Flipped it around, and the first ingredient is wheat.
Oh my God.
And personally, everyone's different with celiac. I will throw up for 8+ hours the next day nonstop.
Oh my God.
And I'm like, bro, it's like Friday at this festival. I just fucked up.
Yeah.
So I start having a panic attack. I'm kind of crying and I'm like it's like kind of like the first couple of days. So I'm still getting to know a bunch of my campmates. And I was like, I need to make myself throw up.
Yep.
That's the one, like, I need to get it out. I can't fully digest and break this down because that's when I'll get sick.
Yep.
But if I can make myself throw it up, I'll be okay. So someone who I love you, Mac, we're friends now, Max, helped me throw up. And I've never met him before, really, this. And I had a stranger's fingers down my throat. And it took like an hour. It took so long. I was spinning in circles upside down. I was drinking. We all bring like this really cheap gin. It's like a thing. Like my campmates are just crazy. And so I was like, give me the most disgusting liquor. And I'm like drinking it straight, just trying to make myself throw up.
Yeah.
And like So yeah, all my neighbors got to see that, and this person I don't even know is helping me throw up, and I didn't get sick. I found a loophole for all you celiacs. But yeah, that was a whole experience, and that would never happen normally.
And glamping could never. No,
you bitches are not doing that in glamping. You're not living in glamping.
Yeah,
if you're not surviving like that, it brings you so close to people. Like, Max should be here next weekend for Cyclops Armory, and they're in Denver right now. That's where they live.
Wow.
But yeah, we're besties now.
That's beautiful. Oh my God.
That's what happens,
Yeah. Okay. So to end this, what are you excited this year? What are you pushing for? What are your goals? Or what's something happening that you're just so excited about?
There's been a lot of exciting things I've been doing with Sim that no one knows yet. And it's so fun being more involved and doing things that are just different than only marketing. So I'm learning a lot about just building connections with other businesses, partnering with other businesses like around town. And just, it's really helping me build my confidence. And I want to really have that drive me this year to work with more artists and put myself out there a little more. Because I know a lot of creatives literally ask artists, they're like, I love you, I want to work with you. I don't ask anything. And I just hope that they want to work with, like, you know what I mean? Like, I applied to be somebody's content creator and go on tour with them not long ago.
I think I applied for the same person.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We know.
I
didn't hear back.
I didn't hear back either. It's fine.
We just worked with this person.
Yeah, we did. But it's fine. They probably found someone who was literally like next door.
I don't even know why they do that, because it's like, I know my application's getting lost with like 2,000 other people.
Yeah.
And like, you're definitely not looking at anything. And I know what I have to offer is so good. They asked for pieces of content. I sent them content of himself.
Beautiful.
And but it's okay.
Yeah.
It felt good to just put myself out there and to feel confident enough where I'm like, oh, I might get it if they actually look at my application and see the work I've done. I feel good and I feel ready to put myself out there and try things like that. And I want to keep doing more of that and just pushing my boundaries, because it's so easy to get comfortable, especially as a freelancer, being in control of everything I do.
Yeah.
So to step out of my comfort zone all the time is what I want to keep pushing myself to do. And it's just going to make you grow more as a creative. But I hope I can do more in the community and more with the artists I love and just more in the scene. And it looks like it's going that way. We'll see.
Yeah.
We have things we're planning.
That's beautiful. Oh, I'm so happy for you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
What about you? Can I ask you? I don't watch podcasts. Can I ask you questions?
Yeah, go for it.
What about you?
Tell me. This is my answer on the other podcast I did. It's literally this podcast. It's something I've wanted to do forever. Like, I feel like I'm on a high every time I'm doing this. It's just like, I don't know. I can't explain it. Like, I do photography and videography as a full-time job. I also get the same high. I used to make YouTube videos like as a child, and I don't have like my life. I could do a daily vlog, but honestly, my life is not exciting enough for that. And I feel like this is like a super happy medium where I get to be on camera and talk and interact with people, but it also gives another person an opportunity to interact and be on camera that, you know, might not have the opportunity to do something like this, and where they get content out of it, I get content out of it. We win-win kind of situation. And it's just a great fucking time. I'm having a blast. Are you having a blast? Okay, cool.
I like this.
I know. It's like, this is free therapy, you know?
It is. And like, it's easy. Like, it's not this big, scary thing. Like, I was a little nervous because I've never done anything quite like this. But it's fun to do things like this.
Yeah.
And I'm happy to be here with you doing it too, because I know how bad you want to do this, and I'm happy that you're starting, and I'm so excited to see what you do.
Thank you. Yeah, everyone starts somewhere. Like, you know, you just have to do it, even if it's messy at the beginning. I don't feel like this is too messy.
It's not. It's not. It's really well done. For
you.
just starting, it doesn't seem like it.
Yeah.
You know?
And I wanted to make sure it wasn't intimidating. Like, for people watching this, it's literally 2 mics, my camera, and a light. Like, I didn't want some sort of like crazy studio where you had to come in and it had to feel really sterile, or a set. Each one of these will be in a different location, basically, for, you know, whoever I'm talking to feels comfortable and whatever. Like, I'm just excited to see where this goes. Even if it goes nowhere, I'm honestly kind of okay with that, because I enjoy it enough and I think that's what matters, you know? Yeah. As long as I'm enjoying it, and who gives a fuck?
It'll get you so much further, because if you go into it and you're like, I'm going to be rich because of this, you're never going to be.
I honestly don't care. This is like, I'm just like, I'm doing it because I really love it. And I
love that. Dude, and you're so good at it. Like, I saw that little snippet of the first podcast, and I can't even believe this is like your first time doing this stuff. Like, the skills you have for this, it's perfect.
Thank you.
Like, it seems, I don't watch podcasts. Like, I just see snippets on like TikTok, and like, it looks like something I would see on there of, you know, a podcast where there's 20 people editing, recording, and you know what I'm talking about?
I
where
do.
It's like just a whole cast.
Yeah, and then they also have people like in the back, like, you know, checking sound, which, you know, technically I probably, but, you know, I'm running to the camera and making sure we're still recording. I'm like, okay, cool. But, you know, like someone, you know, monitoring sound, like throwing questions out for people. Right. And I didn't want that. I want just genuine, like, conversation. Like, I had no plans on where this was going today, and I just wanted to sit down and just see what happened.
And it was perfect. We could keep going.
I know we could. I just don't want a 2-hour thing to edit. Honestly, that's
so much.
Yeah, but again, like, if you want to come back on, love to have you. Like, I said this to my last guest. Like, if you want to do a part 2, part 3, part 4, I really don't care. Like, if you want to come back on and talk, let's do it.
I feel like I didn't even spill like some of the fun lore about like our work and like my job. Like, I know I have some interesting lore to spill that I just kept.
Are we allowed
quiet.
to spill the lore?
Yeah, because when you asked about how I got into social media, I've been dying to kind of say this because it's a really funny fact about me. That's so, like, when I say it, everyone's like, you look like the type of person to do this. And I want, it's almost like I want the world to know, but I don't. Because it's so funny. Because it's like, how do you even get into something like social media? Like, how do you even like
how do you
something
do this?
like that, right? And like, when I was looking for something to do for work, like, I went to school at first for psychology and started studying it. And I was like, no, I don't think I'm going to be happy doing this. So I need to find something else. And I didn't know what. But when I really thought about it, I was like, it has to be social media. It has to be marketing. Because of my past. So a fun secret little fact about me is I used to run a One Direction fan Twitter that blew up. So I've quite literally been on social media since I was
you must
a
have been
child.
scarred last year. Are you doing okay?
The past like 10 years, I couldn't care less about them.
Oh, okay.
But like the 15, or I was younger, like that 12-year-old me, I wouldn't have made it through that. You know, Liam, the breakup, any of that.
Yeah.
There's no way. Even, you know, when I was a kid and they'd get in a relationship with someone else, everyone flips out.
Oh, yeah.
Like, it was insane. And you ship the boys together, and not even with women.
Yeah.
So it was hard. Like, they're ever going to be with one of us.
Yeah.
Yeah, I literally ran a One Direction fan account for a very long time, and I've been on Twitter since like 2012.
Wow.
And tweeting a lot and on the internet making YouTube videos. I've done it all, and it's something I think about because when I thought about what I wanted to do, I'm like, what am I even like interested in and what am I good at?
Yeah.
And yeah, I've literally, you're not a social media manager if you have not been online through days like that. And like, commenting on the Kardashians post, like back first. Like, did you do stuff like that too? And you were growing an account?
Maybe.
So
I don't think I did.
embarrassing.
I think my cringy bits when I was first starting out on YouTube was like I put some questionable things out on the internet. Luckily, they have been taken down. A couple of them haven't though, because I literally don't even have access to like I don't even know
Like
an
the
email
account or
like
anything?
I'm like
Yeah.
I have no idea. But luckily, it's like so niche the title that and it was so long ago that it cannot be found by like.
Oh, I love that. Like, you can't even find it again.
Oh,
either.
good Lord, no. But I know where it is, but nobody else could probably find it. You know,
I probably have YouTube videos out there still, and I don't even know.
Yeah, exactly. So I think that was the only thing I did. Yeah, but we all go through that. I think it's a canon event just doing stuff like that on the internet, especially for our generation, you know?
Oh my gosh, yeah. Growing up with that.
Yeah.
And everybody, and especially now, you want to be like an influencer. Like, even when I do my makeup now, I'm like, this is this. And I hold it up to my mirror because that's just what you grew up watching. And it's so attainable for the average person. If you have a phone, if you have a camera, you can do a lot of that stuff.
Yeah.
So, of course, as kids, we're going to do things like that, like, and try and post stuff like that. And I don't know, I'd post singing videos, and my parents were like at the grocery store, and I can't sing. And like, there was one, I tried to sing Rolling in the Deep by Adele, and I also
went through this moment.
Too.
Yeah.
And Christina Perri, Jar of Hearts. I say all that stuff.
I know. I thought I was going to be a singer. Obviously, no.
We just work with singers.
I know. I pivoted.
Yeah, literally. But it's so fun, like, seeing how you got from there to here.
Yeah.
It just makes sense when you do the things you do now.
Yeah.
Like, looking back as a kid. So.
Yeah. And I think this is literally putting it all together. Like, I know how to set up a shot. I know how to light something. I know how a camera works. I know how to make stuff look good. And now I'm
do.
And
Really, she's so good at her job.
Oh my God.
Like,
thanks.
everything. Yes.
Oh my God, thank you. Yeah, so now it's just like basically this is all combined. And I just love podcasts so much. I love very specific podcasts though.
Listen to.
Just Trish.
Yeah. Did you listen to Frenemies when that was a thing?
No, because I hated him. I couldn't do it.
You either love him or you hate him, right? Like, he's so
And
controversial.
then canceled.
Controversial.
And then canceled.
Yeah. Isn't that what Tana Mojo?
Yeah, Tana Mojo.
Is that still happening?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Oh my God. Because you know how they're getting canceled every other.
Well, that's why it's called canceled. But yeah, so and those type of podcasts, which I think people don't realize is literally just this. They don't really go in with a plan unless there's like hot tea that was dumped in the last couple of weeks.
Which makes sense.
Yeah, but people just love listening to them talk because they just start going off on these funny ass tangents. And it's just like,
they just want realness.
yeah, and I want this to be super real. And I feel like I'm doing okay. I mean, all right.
This is super real. Like, when I came here, you didn't tell me what we talked about because you didn't know either. Like, I
just sat her down on this couch and I'm like,
and we just do it.
Yeah.
So I love that. It is real. It doesn't get more real than this.
oh my God. Well, this has been so fun.
It's been really fun.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for having me.
Of course. Hopefully she comes back.
I will come back.
Comment if you love Allison. I'll just comment like 5 times.
I'm gonna say, all my friends, please comment.
No, I'll just do it.
It's just, don't have her back.
Oh my God. On camera hug.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, our mics.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yeah.
We did it.
Any last words for the people?
I have so much to say and nothing at the same time.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think. Just thank you. If you've made it this far, thank you.
Oh my gosh. Thank you. We love you.
Love you.
Okay, bye.
That's me. That's right. That's me.